others still can join us. Okay. Can you hear me well?
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
Awesome. So thank you guys. Thank you for joining. Today, this is just the last lesson to actually tell you what's going on the next, right? Because learning is good, but all our courses is all about getting the job, the new profession. We are not like educating children, because usually when you have kids classes, they are about learning something fun that kids can play with. Our courses are different. Our courses about getting the new profession, so they are actually aimed at getting new job. So basically today we're going to discuss how to actually get that new job, right? What happens next? So you graduated from the courses, but what's next and how to get the new job, right? So that's basically the goal, the ultimate goal of the every course, especially in our school. um, so first of all, you need to actually get the knowledge, right? So that's why you have courses. You get the new knowledge because you need to have an idea how it works. And basically what we do during that 3 months course, we put people on the project so they actually can work on the project and they can actually see how it works, what they actually do on the project, what people they communicate with, how their job looks like, what their responsibilities look like. And we actually do that from the beginning till the end of the software development lifecycle. And we have a couple of those sprints. So we actually follow the best practices. We have the projects, we have couple projects, we have applications that people work on and test. And actually they learn from actually doing the practice. So first of all, you need to get the knowledge and the practice, of course. So during those 3 months, people actually try to learn the profession, not just theoretically from lectures, from slides or something like that, but actually doing the job. So next step is actually create the resume. In resume, you actually create what you did on the project. So you just say what you did. And also what we do, we redo your previous or current job into a testing job. So basically the ideal resume looks like you have 5 years of experience, um, 3 years in the current company that we provide the companies. But before that, I want to tell you how it works. Why we actually create resume, why we go to the interviews. This is how job market works, right? When you play, let's say, basketball or soccer or any other sports, there are rules, right, that you follow, and every sport has own rules, and you cannot play differently because you come to the pitch and there are specific rules that you have to follow. If you're not following those rules, you will be banned, and there is a referee who will tell you, like, okay, leave the pitch, right? Will give you the red card like in soccer, and etc. So you will have some faults, right? So job market works the same. There are specific rules that you have to follow in order to find a job, and those specific rules, they are kind of like crazy because everybody wants people with experience. But we all know, like, I'm hiring people, I'm interviewing people every week, and I know that it's unrealistic that everybody comes with experience, because what if people just graduated from the university, or they graduated from uh, some courses, they took some online courses, some offline courses, college courses, university courses, and etc. How do they get the experience if you want them to be with experience when you hire them? Nobody answers that question. Actually, yeah, this is how it works. There are exclusions when companies bring people for internship, but they just bring them for like couple months and that's it. People are not working there for years, and that's not enough. And basically what you see, the minimum experience that you want to see in your resume for manual tester is 3 years. 5 years is better. So how to do that? What to do in that case, right? So that's basically what we usually do. So actually you work on our project and you already know what you do. So you can describe, you can go to the interview and you can describe, I work in this company and we have a list of companies we provide. So you put the company name, you pick the company from, you put that company in your resume, and you describe in your resume like you work in this company. Another misconception about resume, people are thinking that the resume is like curriculum vitae, and you have to actually describe their everything about your life, about your school, university, and etc. No, you have to start thinking about your resume like an advertisement. Imagine the case: you open the restaurant, right? There is a new restaurant, you open your family business, and you're going to advertise your restaurant. And what you're gonna say? You're gonna say that this is the best restaurant in the city. Come visit us, right? Try delicious food and from the best chef, and etc. This is how you actually will be advertising your restaurant. Same thing with your resume, but the product, your business is yourself. So in resume, you advertise yourself. So your resume has one simple goal, is to bring you to the interview. That's it. So it should be attractive. It should describe you as the best candidate for them. So they invite you to the interview. And then there are other skills I will talk separately about. So resume is just an advertisement that brings you to the interview. You don't use photos in the resume. You don't use your age, nothing personal. It's just advertisement about professional. And this is your professional advertisement. So basically what you put your name. Oh, let me actually maybe try to find you some template, because we have some templates we give students. Yeah, here it is. Let me share my screen. Okay, this is it. So this is basically how resume looks like for people who graduate from the courses, right? So basically you see the name, you see phone number, and email. And we actually ask people to try to find some interesting email. So it's not their personal email, not the email they're getting like thousands of emails they don't open, just a separate email that they will be just using for the job search, just professional. So that's why we ask them to find something like, funny, something interesting that will bring attention to the resume. Because if you put your name, especially if you have email like, oh, Maria 077, something like that, it's way too common, right? And doesn't make you special. But such email makes you special, because when people read it, oh, QS star. So that's an interesting person who actually spend some time looking for this interesting email. It's related to QA, right? So they want to talk to you because they think in advance that you are not a regular person. You are an interesting person who did some extra work, right, for your resume, and etc. So this is how resume looks like, right? It just tells about you, your name, your contact information, and that's basically it. You don't put any addresses, nothing, especially right now when we work remotely in most of the cases. This is the objective, what you're looking for, and usually we put what you're looking for, the position you're applying to, and then some summary of qualification. When you praise yourself as a personality, then you mention your technical skills, and this is the skills that usually people have after the manual course, because they learn in parallel JavaScript as well, in HTML and CSS. That's what you were able to actually do for a couple lessons, right? So, and this is what people do for 3 months. And so they put the technical skills that they have in their resume, and then experience, right? So in this case, this person has 3 years of experience. So all 3 years come from one company. And usually this current position, present position, this is what we give as a school to people. So they actually can use it as a reference, right? So some people can call and we can confirm that people actually worked on specific project and etc. But we don't put 3 months, we put 3 years. And this is bare minimum that you can put. And this is how the job market works. You cannot put less. If you can actually, you can try, and you can start applying for the jobs. But what happens? Usually recruiters, they just not ban you. They just actually, what they do, they put your name, your experience in a spreadsheet, right? And then they sort it out. by experience, for example. And they select top people with the most experience, that the people who match their filters, like special technical skills, and etc., and etc., etc. They put the filters, and then they sort it out by years of experience. So actually, people with more experience will be the first ones to go to the interview. And that's basically why you have to do this. You have to put experience. What additionally we also do, so most of us, we work with computers, right? In rare cases, people don't, but in most of the cases, people do. Even if you work in a McDonald's, you work with software on theirs. They have screens, they have specific software developed for McDonald's. So McDonald's was a client and ordered that software from software development company. So that software was developed by some company, maybe some startup, some small company, some company that works with other similar businesses. So they developed that ordering application, right, that you can order. Or, for example, maybe you went to McDonald's with those like self-order stations. Uh, it's also a software, right? You click it, you order food with nice pictures. There are specific functionalities, how you add, how you change your order, update your cart, and etc. The payment methods, that's a pretty complex software, I would tell you. That's actually pretty complex software with all the payments, all the nuances, and etc. So somebody developed that, and there were testers who actually tested that application. So when people work in McDonald's and they use that software daily, they know actually how it works, all the nuances in that software. So what actually we tell in their resume, like they worked in McDonald's, but as a software tester. So actually they were working in that team who developed that software for McDonald's, and not like McDonald's employees, right? So that's what we put in the resume. So you actually have ideally two experiences: current experience, 2 or 3 years in the company we provide, and then 2 or 3 years in the company that you work for, but as a software tester. That's what we put. And you actually describe it as a testing experience, and that's how your resume looks attractive for people who want to hire you. And yeah, and that's pretty much it about the resume. And this is how it works, right? And so most of people, they're afraid of that. They think, oh, how can I do that? What happens next? What if they know that I didn't work there? That's a separate thing. Nobody will know because this is how job market works. People just want your resume to be attractive, so you go to the interview. Then during the interview, yes, Maria, I see your question. I will just give you a chance just in a minute. So after this step, you go to the interview, and then during the interview, you prove that you can do the job. They ask you specific questions. They ask you to report a bug. They ask you to maybe, they give you the page and tell you can share your screen and actually find a couple bugs for us on this screen. Can you test it, play with it a little bit, and just maybe point out a couple bugs that you see right away? So they just want you to see how you think. So that's basically how the interview goes. And if you prove that you can do the job, you are the person they are looking for. So you can handle what they do. And that's basically what we do on the project. So people already know what they are going to do. They just say, okay, I can do this because I work with documentation. I look for the problems there. I work with the business analyst to actually fix the problems in the requirements. Then when they are final, I create test plan, create test cases. Then once the application is ready, I run smoke test. But that's not manually run. We have automation test that we just trigger as a manual people. We just click the button, it runs, and we just see if it passes or fails. If it passes, we continue testing. We take our test cases, execute them, and report bugs. Then developers fix those bugs, return those bugs back to us, and we actually verify that those bugs are fixed. After that, we run regression test. It's similar to smoke. We actually just trigger it because it's done by our automation team. We trigger it. If it passes, all good. We approve the release. And then we conduct the retrospective meeting. And we discuss what we can do better, what was wrong during the sprint, what can be done better next one, and etc. And then we go to the next sprint, work on another piece of the documentation, on other requirements, and so on. So people know how the work in the company looks like because they did that for 3 months on the course, right? And they just, during the interview, their goal is to prove that they can do the job. And that's basically just comes from your experience. It's not for, there are some people, I can tell you, because for example, in my case, I didn't take such big courses. Actually, in my case, I watched some courses just recorded on YouTube. It was hard, but I made it. And my path was not working, because usually you have two options. Option number one, you learn something on your own. You can buy some courses on Udemy, you can watch some courses on YouTube and try to learn on your own. But there is nobody to ask some additional questions, because if you don't understand something that that person tells you, that's it. You are not able to move forward, right? And if you have a teacher, you can just ask. Teacher can explain you in different words, and you can understand and move forward. So that's basically the main probably disadvantage of pre-recorded courses. There is nobody to ask. So you have to understand, and you don't have practice. You just watch the videos, you try to understand how it works, and that's it. Basically, you don't have an access to specific systems. And another other path is actually you work with teachers online, like online lessons, like I'm talking with you right now, or maybe there is a school that you can actually attend in person, right? Offline courses. So, and you work with teachers. If you don't understand something, you ask them. If you don't understand something about resume, you ask them. If you don't understand something about interview, you ask them, right? And etc. And basically, another big piece of work is to actually work on the project, to get an access to the project and work on it, and actually being able to understand how the company works, how people interact with each other, right? Work in the team during that period of time. So basically, that's like your 3 months experience working in the company. And then when you actually look for the job, it's for you same thing as for example for me right now. So I work for the company right now, I'm on the project, and I'm looking for another job. So I'm just getting interviewed, but I have an experience. I just explain my experience, and people just hire me based on what I have already. So same thing, right? And there are some people that don't need the big course, because I was able actually to watch the recordings just to understand, and just go to many interviews, fail, and then analyze every time after the interview what went wrong, and just try to make it better next time. So basically, after the 10 failures, my 11th interview was successful. So that's how I found my first job. For some people, they took the course, they actually learned on the project, and they get the job from the first from the first interview, because it was easy for them. They got the experience, they were able to explain everything, people liked them, and they got the job offer from the first interview. So the cases are different, and it's different for different people, because there are some people say, oh, I don't need to take the course, I can take something on Udemy or YouTube. And that's true. There are some people, smart people, some proactive people that can actually watch the videos, and that's enough for them. But there are other people that they just need support. They need push, they need motivation, they need support, they need to be able to ask questions, clarifications, and etc. So that's basically, everybody decides. But ultimate goal is the same. It's to find a job. If you're successfully able to find a job, that's ultimate goal. And your decision is whether like work on your own and try to understand. Maybe for some people, even the free course will be enough to understand the concept. Okay, so I have this is how manual testing works. I basically work on the requirements, test cases, then report bugs, and then all over again, right? And then this is the concept of coding. Okay, the automation, I tried it. So let's try start applying for the jobs. Let's create some resume. Just get some template of the resume on the internet. That's what people do. And just start applying. And there, if you actually apply for 1,000 positions, probably there is one company who will that will hire you. And today I'm going to show you how many jobs are available on the US market today for manual testing. So we will just see the numbers. We will just go to LinkedIn. I will look for the jobs on the jobs part of LinkedIn, and you will see how many jobs are posted there and we will actually set the filter to last week, and you will see how many jobs were posted in the last week in the United States. That's an incredible time right now because, previously, if you live in small city and there are like 5 jobs available in your city, that's it. If there are other candidates and they applied, they got the job, you don't have the job anymore, right? You don't have anything to apply for. Right now, after the COVID happened, everybody went remote, and now you just apply for any location in the United States, and that's incredible. Because I work remotely, I work from my home, I just wake up, brush my teeth, have a tea or coffee, and just sit and work right away. I don't commute, I don't waste my time on that. I sit at home, I can stand up at any time, go and play with my daughter, go back and sit, I can relax and do something. Nobody's watching me as in the office. So working remotely right now, it's incredible experience. And and you have so many jobs to apply for. Okay, so before I go next, do we have a question still from Maria? Did you have a question? Probably about
Yes, just quick question regarding work experience. I don't quite understand how am I supposed to say that I work for the company. I mean, in terms of the references, it's usually HR or like they call and ask for references and ask if that person works for that amount of time at that specific position. I don't
Yep.
know how I'm supposed to lie about something like my experience on my resume.
So your resume, again, it's an advertisement. It's, again, you need to understand this very clearly. When you open the restaurant, you never say a regular restaurant, and maybe not with the best food and maybe not with the best chef, but come to us and try. You're not going to say that. Never. You always gonna say the best restaurant, delicious food, the best chef in the city. So come over and try. That's what you say in your advertisement. And a resume, again, it's not CV. Remember this. CV and resume are 2 different things. Curriculum vitae is not the resume. Resume is your advertisement. And yes, you lie here. You, first of all, you praise yourself. In summary of qualification, you praise yourself. You're like person who makes a difference. Maybe you're not, but you actually put this. Very motivated, actively learning, blah, blah, blah. You praise yourself, like you're like super active. You're, I don't know, you're
No,
able
about it, sorry for interrupting. I understand about motivation and everything, but about experience, it's something that
to
HR can verify easily by
no,
going to the
no,
no? According to my experience, yes, because my employers, I'm an accountant now, but my employers actually called my ex-employers to verify
good.
that type of information. So I
Don't give
can
your
understand.
if you want your employer to confirm your experience, yes, you give your previous employer as a reference. But if you don't want or if you want somebody else to confirm your experience, you just give other people, like your boyfriend or your husband, to say, hey, you were my manager and you work with me here in this company, and I worked for you and did this. So if somebody calls you, tell them that you work. This is how references work. References are nothing. It's just somebody to confirm that you were a nice person, and that's not the background check. We will actually talk about the background check separately. That's what I'm going to tell you about. But references are nothing. So basically what happens? And that's what we put actually one company that we give you. So this, so how your resume, for example, you graduated, you're my student, you graduated from my course. Because it's different in other schools and other companies. Sometimes you don't have nothing, you have to come up with your own things. Because sometimes people just suggest you, hey, put any fake companies. And many people, they just put any fake companies. They say that they work for Facebook or something like that. Because for the references, you provide your regular people. You don't provide like HR or something like that. References are for like your coworkers. So basically, for example, I work with you as your lead, but I don't work at this company at the moment. And for this should be the person who actually worked with you in the past, but doesn't work there right now. Because imagine I'm your manager, you still work for me, And then somebody calls me, you know what? Maria is looking for the job, and she actually gave you as a reference. And like, hey, Maria, are you looking for the job? Another job? You're gonna leave us, right? So you never give your manager as a reference. You give your ex-manager. For example, somebody who worked with you at this company but left 3 months ago. So those people, you can tell that you're looking for the job. You trust them, so you give somebody, your coworker that you trust, and they actually tell about you like, hey, very good person that I worked with. She was responsible for many things. This is her responsibilities. I was her lead. We were working for that company together for the past year. And yeah, she's a very nice person. And usually they ask on the scale from 0 to 10, how you would rate, for example, her responsibility. You say 10. Okay. Team play, her as a team player, you say 10. Then okay. Okay. What would you suggest as improvements for her as a, like, maybe, yeah, and you usually say, okay, I would probably say that she needs to learn coding and just maybe develop in that area, because not sitting too long in the manual testing, stuff like that. So that's what I would probably suggest, and nothing like that, because she's a very nice person and professional in general. So that's how references look like. So you give some trusted people, your trusted coworkers that actually will not tell anybody, or workers that know that you're looking for the job, but really not your current lead or a manager. So that's basically how references look like. And that can be anybody. Nobody's checking anything. That is basically HR or recruiter calling and asking, hey, Maria gave you a reference. Can you confirm that you work for this company for so many years? You say yes. And what were her responsibilities? And you just say, okay, basically this. She was responsible for analyzing requirements, creating test cases, reporting bugs, working with developers, business analysts, participate in all the Scrum ceremonies, and blah, blah, blah. Everything that you have in your resume, that's basically what I answer or your other people answer. So how it happens? How it happens? We usually put one company from the courses. We have a list of companies. They have their pages on LinkedIn. We just give them these companies for the resume, and we actually provide the reference, like me, for example, me provide the reference for my students for my course for this company. If you add your previous experience as well here, we usually, for the previous experience, as I already mentioned, we use some real job that you worked for. For example, we have guys who worked on the cell antennas installation, right? So they installed cell antennas, and they actually tested them that they work on the laptops, so that we actually redid that experience, like they actually tested the application that they used for. Like it was a hardware testing, and they had to test that antennas work, and they work for the company who developed antennas, and etc. Not like installers, but everything we actually mentioned the correct company. We mentioned 2 years also, and we mentioned that they worked as a software testers. So the company is the same, years are the same, but software testers, not cell antennas installers, right? So that's what we do. And what they usually ask, they ask their friends from that company, or the ex-colleagues, or current colleagues, because usually people put as a second experience their current job. So they ask their colleagues or friends or whoever to answer that call and confirm that, yes, we work together for that company for so many years, and that person was responsible for that. That's it. That's basically it. Nobody checks that. And I tell you because I have experience with that. I do that always, and that's what I do. For example, if there is somebody asking for the reference from my previous job, I have to give somebody who I know, right, from that job, my coworkers I worked with, my friends that I have contacts with, right? Those are close people. References are not, give us the HR manager who actually has the access to all the information to confirm and etc. That is a background check, and that is a separate thing, absolutely separate thing. For the resume and references, that's what you put. This is how job market works. If you don't want to play those rules, this game according to these rules, you don't play and you don't get a job. That's it. That's basically it. So this is how it works. The rules are very simple. I'm not pushing people to do that. I'm just telling them, guys, I tell you how it works, you follow and get the job. You can try not follow, because there are some students, sometimes they graduate from the course, but they say, I'm not going to put this in my resume. Okay, you can try. You can try, put whatever you want. 3 months, put your, you don't want to listen to me, put it whatever you want. Whatever you want. I give you my suggestions. You don't want, try. And try to find a job. They end up with coming to me and doing everything correctly at the end, because that's not going to work. If you play baseball, you play baseball with baseball rules. If you play football, you play football with football rules. If you play soccer, you play soccer rules. That's it. If you want to find a job, you follow specific rules. Recently, there was a study, and they were asking hiring managers if they know that people lie in the resume and if they care. 70% said, yes, I know that people lie in the resume. 74% said, we don't care. Just to let you know, nobody cares, because everybody knows. I know, I hire students. If people come to me, they have nice resume, I interview them. If I like them, I hire them, because they prove that can do the job. I don't have a, like, I don't have a goal to hire person with a master's degree from Stanford. No, I have a position and there is a job to be done. That's it. I interview a couple people, and who's the best from them to do this job, who prove that they can do the job, I hire that person. And I don't check. I'm a hiring manager. I'm not checking their references. We have HR, they check references, they call people, just some formal processes, but I don't check. But I make a decision. Decision is not made by HR, decision made by me. If I tell, yes, this person actually did great during the interview, and I put, so we have a system that we use for the interviews, and I just fill the report, and then I just put either recommended to hire or not. And they put the recommended to hire, that's basically it. And that person getting hired. Then happens the background check, and that's a separate thing that I'm going to discuss. But those are the rules, and you just follow them if you want to find a job. And again, resume is just the first step. That's what you need to understand. Resume is the first step. It's just for you to get to the interview. There is another thing, interview, technical interview. Usually there are a couple interviews. So you have the interview with HR. HR just checked some soft skills, maybe have some list of questions like pre-screening. So there are some QA questions that HR has an answers for. If you answer them correctly, you go to the next level. Just a pre-screening, so a hiring manager are not wasting time when they actually interview a lot of people, because sometimes you end up with interviewing 100 people and 90 of them are not like even close to what you're looking for. So basically, HR's goal is to do pre-screening and actually filter out those who don't know anything about QA, right? So the only people who actually answer those go to the next level. So that's a pre-screening, HR, soft skills, and maybe some technical questions, but like common ones, just a pre-screening. Then you go to the next one, technical one. For manual QA, it's very specific. You don't have any specific skills. So basically, you ask for, okay, why do you work with the requirements? Why is that important? What are the most common problems in the requirements? How about test cases? Do you use any test design techniques? What are those? Testing, what types of testing do you know? Bug reports, are you using any specific rules for bug reporting? For example, okay, let me give you an example. Here's the field. Those are the requirements, how you would cover them by the requirements, right? How many test cases? Count. Okay, bug report, let's report it together. Okay, what you would put in the summary. So basically, it's very based on your experience on the project that you work. If you work on the project, you know what to answer because you do this daily. You just daily report those bugs, working the requirements, so you know what to answer. Exactly. So that's how technical interview for QA looks like. For automation, you also get some coding tasks. Tasks to inspect the page and find some elements in HTML, and etc. Some SQL tasks or something like that. So more coding based for automation, and more project and experience based for manual testers. That's it. And usually the third round is usually some culture fit. You actually getting interviewed by your future co-workers, but not from your QA team, because usually technical interview is when QA team interviews you. And the next level is culture fit, is interviewed business analyst, developer representative, maybe some management representative. So they actually see if they like you, like a person that they will be working in the future. So usually, if you said yes, they also say yes, and that's it. 3 rounds, and then you just discuss the salary with HR and move forward. And then they give you the job offer. They give the job offer, and then when they actually check your job and do the background check for you after the job offer. So you got the job offer, you sign it, and then they do the background check. So for background check, how it usually happens, companies don't do that because they don't have an access to multiple systems. So there are third-party companies, like special companies that do the background checks. So companies buy, so like you, for example, right? You have a company and you want to do background checks for people you hire. So you buy like subscription there, like a plan, $2.99 per month, and you have unlimited employees per month, and you can actually do the background checks for them. That's how basically works. There are companies that provide those services for the other companies. So your company sends you the link to that third-party company, and you fill the information there. And then that company does the background check and send the information to the company. So that how it happens. You fill the information about your experience, your jobs, and etc. And then you put the real information. You work on Uber, you put that you work on Uber. So in the background check, that's the place when you put the actual truth information. You don't lie there. They actually check that you don't have any criminal history, any bad records on your profile, and etc. So they check everything. There are special things that they check. Your living history, like where you live, and etc. You mentioned all your addresses for the past like couple years, and then your employment history for the couple past years. That's what they do, that company though. And your goal is to actually pass that, to real. So you provide real information. They check your job, but here's the thing: nobody compares your resume with your background check, because usually it comes like no problems with the background check, and you go and take the job. So look, many students. So I have like students graduating every 3 months. Nobody has a problem with that. And this is the process you follow. You actually put 3-5 years of experience in your resume, QA experience. You go to the interview, you prove that you can do the job. You actually get the offer, you sign it, you do the background check. In the background check, you put the truth. They confirm that, and you continue. Nobody. I was working for Apple, right? And I actually, when I came to the United States, I didn't have any US experience. One thing, just take me as an example. And I have many students actually who just came in, for example, 8 months ago to the United States. They put everything that they actually came to the United States 8 months ago before they lived there in that country. Then they actually worked here for Uber. There they worked for that company as an accountant, right? They put everything like truth, right? Your real story. You put everything there, they check it. If they are able, sometimes they are not able to reach out to your university, to your previous employer or something like that in your country, and that's fine. It will be marked like they were not able to reach out, or they were not able to confirm that. But they will still be able to confirm here, because Uber has special forms that they give you at the end of the year that you worked for them, right? The address verification for you here, yes. There are some letters that you can provide, and etc. Right? So you do everything according to what you have actually in your life in the background check, and your goal is to have pass. That's it. So in my case, for example, I was when I came to the United States, I didn't have my work permit for, I believe, like 9 months. So then for the first 9 months here, I worked just on a construction as a helper. I was installing siding, tile installation, laminate, and etc. But in my resume, of course, there was no laminate, right, or construction. There was a QA job, right? So I was working. My first job here was Apple. I was a QA lead at Apple, my first job in the United States. And in my background check, there was a construction. There was my actual employer. They called him, they asked him, and I know him, right? Because I worked for him, and he confirmed everything. Yes, I worked for him, my salary, everything, and nobody cares about that. And since that was since in the background check you fill your employment history for the past 5 years, so I had to mention that job in my background check for the 5 years of work in the United States, and nobody cared. I changed like 3 companies or 4 companies after that, and nobody cared about that. Nobody compared my resume to the background check, because everybody knows you can come from the university and you don't have experience, but you still say that during the education you were working somewhere part-time or maybe even full-time as a QA tester, because they want that to be in your resume, to just bring you to the interview, because the system is very complex. Too many people are involved. So I'm not looking for people. There are recruiters looking for people. They actually bring people to our company. They contact HRs. Then HRs take some actions. Then I take action only in case, okay, Arthur, here's the resume. Do you like these people or not? I say, okay, call this, and this. These 4 people to the interview. Just pre-screen them, and whoever passes your interview, send them to me. So like 2 people just passing the HR interview, answering those pre-screening questions. Okay, then I interview only 2 people. But before this, recruiter actually took some actions and filter out some candidates, right? Then HR filter out some candidates, and then me just making sure that this person can handle the job or not. And if I like some person who can handle the job, I like the personality, I see that this person is motivated enough, not just person who wants to get the salary and sit in the corner doing nothing, I say yes, and that's it. Then that person takes the next level, the next round of the interview with culture fit. Usually those people after me say yes, because in very rare cases they say, okay, you know what, it was strange because that person was behaving strange, right? Something like that. It happens like maybe in 1% of the cases, but in other percent of the cases, people after me say yes. And that's it. Then the people do the background check. I never know what they have there. Never. And I don't even know who knows. Maybe HR sees sometimes, I don't know. But I'm not sure if they compare or something. Maybe they think that I asked the person about experience, and that person told me that yes, I worked for Uber or something like that, and I said, okay, it's still okay. I don't know. Never. That was never a problem. I never saw, as a hiring manager, I never saw the background checks. Not sure even if even HRs see them, but basically they are done by third-party company all the times, and we just get the information. Background check looks good. Everything was confirmed. No criminal history. You're good to hire. So we just send the note to that person. You can start next Monday, because job offer at this time signed already. So that's the process: resume, interview, signing the job offer, then background check, and then coming to the office. That's the process, and you follow those rules in order to get the job. If you don't like it, then you don't learn anything and don't even start, because it's just waste of your time and money to learn everything and then just not get the job, because all of those courses for adults, and our goal is to find a new job and get a new profession. And that's not about fun. It's not the courses for kids when you just learn something fun and just to play with it, and just not to maybe playing too many games or watch YouTube, but doing something more interesting that maybe will help you in the future to be a developer or something like that. Those are for kids. For us, the courses are to change the profession. If you come to learn software development, you want to become a software developer and get IT job and get that IT salary, you work remotely. That's your ultimate goal. And you have to be ready for everything to get that goal, because we all started, everybody in IT, especially in QA, those are all people who took the courses. I don't know people like with master's degree in computer science and who became QA. Usually everybody in QA, people from different industries who actually changed the job in some specific point. Sometimes they worked for software development company, but they were doing, they were customer support. They were sitting on the phone, answering calls, helping people to solve some simple problems with the application, something like that. And then somebody said, okay, you know the application pretty well, you can try QA. And they actually promote people inside the company, but they have to educate them as well. So that's the possible change. But in most of the cases, in 99.99% of the cases, people who came to QA, they are not people who actually study it in the software, computer science universities or something like that. Never. Those are people from different industries that changed their job and became QAs. That's how it works, and we all know that. So when we hire people, we know that those people are coming from different industries. And I usually ask people during the interview, why QA? Why you have decided to switch to QA? And they tell me their story and etc. And I know that people lie, because at some point they want to find a job. And believe me, I even know from which school those people are coming, because their resume look the same. So I know, okay, those like 25 people from this school, those 30 people from this school, right? If I check the resumes that people send and apply for the position, I see that they look the same. They use the same company names, the same template, everything is the same. That's why I ask my students, hey, here's the list of the companies, and only one student picks one company, so you don't have the same company names. Please, no copying or the formatting. So actually just look for some template on the internet and then fill the information that I tell you. So information I tell you, you fill, but the template, the font colors, the sections, how it organized is different. So your resumes are different. That's what I learned from my experience, because I interview people, I see a lot of resumes. So I want my student resumes look differently, right, and be unique. That's basically, there are specific rules I use, but still, I'm still okay with those people coming, and I'm still interviewing them and hiring them. I hire not only my students, I hired some students from other schools as well. People apply, and I see that there is a good person who actually came to the interview. I remember I hired one person for automation. She was great. She was like, nice person. We are friends right now. She graduated different school, and that's okay, because I know that she's from courses. She didn't have 5 years of experience. I know that, but I still hire her because I need people to do the job, and that's it. If there is no better people than those ones coming, I'm still hiring them. I play those rules myself, and according to the study, at least 70% of other hiring managers as well. So that's basically how job market in IT works. Okay, before I show you how many jobs out there, do you have any questions about this? Yeah, and feel free to ask me any questions. You can ask me stupid questions. You can think that maybe it's not true, it's something that, any questions, because I'm ready to answer any of your questions. I will be honest with you. If you don't want to play those rules, you don't have to take any courses and learn, because it will be very hard for you to find a job. And even from my experience, there are students that say, hey, Arthur, I don't want to do this. I want to try my own, because people are different. Sometimes people just listen. And for me, I always tell people, hey, I can guarantee that you find a job. You need to do 3 things. Come to lessons. Don't skip them. During the lesson, ask questions. So by the end of the lesson, you have full understanding of the topic. If you don't understand something, you don't sit silent. You ask questions. And third thing, complete the assignments that I give to you. Sometimes just the practical assignments in the project. Sometimes it's, start creating your resume. Put this information, put this information. I provide my feedback. You have to correct it accordingly. Then start applying for the jobs. So you follow those 3 steps: lessons, ask questions, and complete assignments. And you get the job. I guarantee you. The word guarantee, because you will get the job for sure, 100%. there are some rare cases. I don't have 100% placement rate, because, for example, I have my friend of mine who actually took my course, and actually he was the best student on the course, and I actually even interviewed him for my company. And what happened? He decided to open his own company and do his some other thing. So basically, he was the best student, and he probably would be the first one who actually to find the job. But I mean, like, he decided to open his own business, so I cannot control that. So yeah, but let's say 95% of students find the jobs if they follow those three rules. And what we do for that, we keep all the students who follow the rules. If people start missing lessons, don't complete homework, they are not active, we remove them from the course. We don't need not active people on the course who don't want to get the job, who will demotivate others, who will waste teachers' time. Because if somebody missed couple lessons, they need additional time to actually get that knowledge. So they come to lesson number 3. If they missed the first one, the first two, they don't have that base to understand the third one already, because they are missing that knowledge from the first two. So basically, for the teacher to help that person, teacher has to spend additional time. So it's hard for teacher to work with such students who don't come to lessons, that complete homeworks, and etc. Waste of time. It demotivates other students, right? The lessons become longer and boring. So basically, it's win-win situation. You follow those 3 rules, and you graduate and get the job successfully, 100%. If you don't do that, that's why people in our school pay monthly. So they don't pay in advance for the whole course, and we then remove them, and they like, oh, okay, I paid for the course, I want to still take it. No, so you pay for a month. After 1 month, we analyze your work. If you're not motivated, I'm sorry, but goodbye. So that's basically how our school works. We are not looking for money, we're looking for success stories. That's our ultimate goal. We're looking for success stories and for the most active students that will get the job, and we're building the community, right? And also, yeah, guys, I see your questions. 1 second. Oh man, lost my thought. Yeah, and that's why I'm proud of the fact that I can guarantee your job placement if you just follow. And those are the rules as well, because those are the part of the assignments. Create your resume. If I provide feedback, okay, you didn't cover some specific things, you have to cover those specific skills in your resume, in your experience description. Add another job, increase your you have decided to put 2 years of experience. Yeah, no, put 4, put 5. It will be more beneficial for you. You just follow and you find the job. That's it. That's basically how it works. If I know that people are afraid of, like, okay, I'm afraid of what happens, but nothing happens. I just explain you how it works. And another thing that you need to understand, this is what other students do, and they successfully find jobs, right? They successfully find jobs, they get high salaries, they work remotely, then successful people. I'm happy to see that a lot of my students right now, they just graduated from the courses 2 years ago. Now they have Tesla, they have own house, they live in nice place with own house, with Tesla. And right now there are relatives are studying because they send relatives, because they have a story, right? All their relatives, okay, how you did that? Okay, you graduated from the courses, you work as automation engineer, you have Tesla, you have your own house. How we can do that? So they send all the relatives to us. And that's basically why I'm not looking for the money, because those people will come to me. They send their husbands or wives to me. So husband graduated, then in 1 year, wife comes to learn QA, to get the salary and the house and blah 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 as well, right? That's what people come. They change their lives, and that's basically why people want to work in IT, because there is not a lot of responsibility, right? You don't work with people like in hospital. If somebody dies, that's a big problem, especially if they die because of your fault, right? But if there is something happened to the software application, the craziest thing that you get is a software bug. Yeah, you can find it and you fix it, and that's it. And you're able to make a lot of money because of the fact 5 people can develop the application for the phone, and that application can be used by billion people around the world, right? That's basically why. So you can, in IT, small application can make a lot of money but that application can be maintained by 5 people. Some small development team that actually maintain that application, that develop that application. Of course, the companies grow then. For example, Instagram was a small company. Then a lot of people started using it. So Instagram is a bigger right now. So there's a lot of people to answer calls, customer support, software development team who develops and improves the Instagram over time. But the main thing is, again, the team is limited, like maybe 100 people, 50 people. But Instagram is used by billion people around the world. So they make a lot of money. That's why they can pay people 200K a year easily, because they make much, much more. That's how software development works. Okay, so Maria was the first. Maria, go ahead with your question. Okay, it seems like I cannot hear you. Let me check.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. So I have a question regarding a time schedule. Like I'm in a different state, so I wonder, for example, if a timetable for lessons just doesn't work for me, will I have another option to choose another group with different hours or days?
Actually, not at the time. So basically, how we work, if we get group bigger than 25 people, then we will actually split it to several groups, to couple groups, and then each group will be able to pick the time. But at the moment, we have one group, and it will really will depend on how many people will be in the group in the new course that starts in January. If there will be less than 25 people, so in probably 99% of the cases, I can tell you that it will be 7 p.m. Pacific time, like today. So this is the same time that lessons will take place. If
Same time and weekdays, right? Weekdays is usually.
No, weekdays from Monday till Thursday, 4 days. Because
Understood.
it will be 2 QA lessons and 2 JavaScript lessons. So actually, it will be 4 days a week from Monday till Thursday. And then Friday, Saturday, and Sunday are free. We are thinking maybe to put another 1 day for like addition, not a lesson, but some, like we invite some ex-student to actually just talk with people and just tell their story, or maybe some HR who will tell you some trends on the market right now or something like that. We are planning to add one more, but not a lesson, but maybe like a webinar a week, or some workshop, something like that. But right now, what you need to know, it will be 4 days for sure. Maybe one additional, not day, but because usually what we say 4 days, it's not the entire day, just 2 hours. For example, like tonight, from 7 to 9 p.m. Pacific time. Sometimes it's 1 hour. It really depends on the topic. Sometimes topics are shorter, and it's more like your homework than classwork. Sometimes classwork is 2 hours and then less homework. So it really depends on the topic of the lesson. But what you can say in general, it will be 7 to 9 p.m. Pacific time. So like today, 2 hours a day from Monday till Thursday, 2 QA lessons and 2 JavaScript lessons for 3 months. That's how the course looks like. Got it?
Yes, understood. Thank you.
Okay. And also, who else had a question? Leandra, you had a question?
Yeah, I have 2 questions. So my first question would be, how do you handle like salary negotiation? Like, have you ever done that yourself, or has anyone come to you like after you are interested in hiring them and they have a salary negotiation?
Yeah, so basically what it happened. So you let me share my screen. Oh, I'm sharing my screen. So there is some website called Glassdoor, and we have this information on our website. So actually on our website, if you go, here is the what to expect after the course, and here is the current medium salaries on the market. So for example, if you're a manual engineer, this is the median salary on the market right now. So this is what you should be expect for and asking for after graduating from the manual key courses. If you graduate from automation courses, this is what your median salary looks like, right? So this is what you actually should be thinking about when you graduate from automation course. But it really depends on the company. This is median salary on the market. So, and I took it actually from Glassdoor, right? Glassdoor. But on the Glassdoor, you can look for the specific company that you are applying for. For example, Allergan, right? Allergan, and let's see, and let's look for engineering. Let's see. So you can see some reviews here, right? People leaving reviews, jobs, interviews, and blah, blah, blah. So actually, Glassdoor is about engineers, not only engineers, maybe even just workers leaving their reviews and how much they make in the company. So actually, those are like anonymous, so you don't know who left there, but they actually leave the information about themselves. And the Glassdoor, what they do, so when you actually register, they actually force you to do that, because they don't open you some parts of the website until you fill the information about yourself, about your salary. So actually, you have to fill information of where you work and how much you make. So actually, that's how they get the statistics. Yeah, and let's say Allergan, United States. Oh man, what is that? Okay, let me try to log in. Okay, engineering, let's say QA. Quality assurance, right? It's a 77,000. And here's the range that people put. Somebody makes 61. This is the lowest salary. Somebody makes 98, right? This is what the people put. Okay, let me put tester. Test engineer, for example, right? Nothing. Tester. Software K tester. Nothing. Analyst. Analyst. QA analyst. Analyst. Okay, K analyst. So here's the thing, right? Somebody makes 98, somebody makes 91. So you actually go to a specific company and see what people make there. So, and you usually ask for a little bit more, because when people join the company, the salary inside the company grows not too fast. They usually match the inflation rate every year, but they don't promote you a lot. So usually you get the raise when you actually change the company. You go to the next company, they actually give you the job offer, they don't have any other good candidates, and you can dictate the rules, and you actually ask for a little bit more. So that's what happens to me. I started at 60,000 a year. Then I worked for a couple months. There was actually a mistake done during the interview, because as I mentioned, I joined Apple as a lead. So I was quickly promoted to 100K. When I was leaving, in 1 year, I had to leave because I was moving to other city. So at that time, we were not able to work remotely. Even right now at Apple, people switched back to hybrid schedule. They used to work remotely for 2 years, but then Apple actually forced them to work at least a couple days from the office to keep everything secure, right? So they are working for a hybrid schedule. And since I was leaving the Bay Area, I had to leave Apple. That was a nice place to work. Actually, and so they offered me 160K, right, when I was leaving. When actually
they offered you 160K to stay.
Yeah, to stay. But I left, actually. I left, and I moved to Sacramento area. So here I got 150K. When I was leaving for other company, I got 160K. Then I joined another company, I got 180K, right? So this is how you grow when you actually switch the companies. You don't get as much. You can get if you say them that you leave, and they try to match your offer in that company that you're leaving, right? So that's what happens. But that happens only when you leave, right? And you can still stay, but you can do that once. You cannot like every year you can leave, but they give you the match and you stay. No, that's not happening. At some point, they will will let you leave. So that's basically how it works, right? So that's exactly why you ask for a little bit more than you see here, because those people, if they work there, they don't actually they didn't get a salary raise probably, and you ask for something else. As you can see, the range is up to 122. So somebody gets 80. Probably those are who actually joined a couple years ago, and somebody who just recently joined have 122K for QA analyst. That's a manual tester. 122, right? So this is the range for the salaries. So that's what you base on. If you think, okay, I'm not too sure that I did the interview good or something like that, so maybe you can get like 110, let's say, right? And you just say, okay, I will ask for 110. That's how the negotiation happens. You ask for some specific salary, but you do some preparation. You look for how much other people get in this company, and you ask for something similar. Let's say 115K. If they have more for this position or 115, they will tell you, okay, no problem. 115, good. If they have less, let's say maybe 122 is, I don't know, somebody does outstanding job and they just promoted somebody, I don't know, maybe 122 is like exclusion, right? So, and they have 110 for this position. They will just tell you, I'm sorry, we don't have 115, we can give you 110. And you say okay, or you say no, I'm sorry, that I have to decline the offer, right? So basically that's how it works. That's how negotiation happens. You ask for something, they ask you usually how much you would get, how much you would like to get. You tell them 115 probably would be nice, and they say okay, we have that amount. Okay, good. Handshake, and that's it. And they send you the offer, and they mention that amount. You just sign the offer, and that's basically it. Yeah.
And how long did it take you to find your first job in
My first
QA?
job, my first job was in Ukraine. So basically, it took me about 3 to 4 months. But again, remember, I didn't graduate from like courses. I actually watched some videos in YouTube, and I had to fail 10 times. I got my first job offer. I actually got 2 offers, and that's what usually happens from 11th interview. I got 2 job offers, and that's what usually happens because another problem, you have to train that skill, interview skill. So that's what we do usually. How the main course looks like in our school. So we actually, it takes 3 months for manual QA. So we actually do the first sprint slowly, so people can learn everything. Then we switch to the second sprint. People know what to do already. So we slowly, in parallel, start preparing the resume. So then we prepare the resume. We take another sprint. So people like work on the project on the same time. But in parallel, we do something like resume preparation, that interview preparation. We do mock interviews. So how the lesson looks like, we join. So they have project assignments that they work. We meet. We have a like stand-up meeting when we share our statuses, who works on what, and what are the status. We just check that the project goes well. They don't have any questions, no blockers. And maybe it takes for us like 30 minutes, maybe 40 minutes. And then we switch to interview preparation, and couple people have mock interviews. So actually I interview them. We like have same thing as you would do. For example, right now we have like call. I say, hello, my name is Arthur. Let's say I'm like QA manager at this mobile development company, and I describe the project, introduce myself, people introduce themselves, and then I ask questions like in interview, like real interview, same way I interview other people. And then I provide my feedback. So the problem is a lot of people, they are just nervous. And I always tell them, so you guys, you have 2 ways to get the job. One way for the interview. One way, you understand what I tell you. So the interview should be not about answering questions. Interview should be nice conversation. You talk with people like you just came here just to talk to them. If they ask you questions, like consider this your friends asking questions about your job. Oh man, what do you do? Yeah, could you explain me more about your job or something like that? So treat interview like just nice conversation. Be relaxed, smiling, nice, empathetic, and people will like you and hire you. Because believe me, the decision made, decision made emotionally. If people like you, they will hire you. They just like you, and people always think, will I be comfortable working with these people in the future? Because when they hire you, right, they know that you will be part of their team, and they want you to be a nice person they are comfortable to work with. Even you, if you answered all the questions but you sound rude, or you were not nice person, you were not nice during the interview, they will not hire you. even if you're a great professional, and the reason is they don't want to work with you. And if you are a nice person, they love your story, because it's always something personal. That's why I teach people to put some personality into the interview. When they introduce themselves, I ask them to also mention a couple of the hobbies they have. Mention that they have kids or families, they want to spend time with them, or they like to ski or play golf or something like that. Something personal, especially when people had some unique story in the past and that brought them to the United States, for example, right? Or something that changed their life, and they decided to take the course and became QA, right? So something special. People remember that. Remember that the resume, and that happens at the beginning of the resume. They usually ask you a couple questions about that. Oh, really? You like skiing? Where do you ski usually? Oh, I like to go to Kirkland. Oh, really? Me too. This is my favorite ski resort, right? So people ask you a couple questions, though. So they waste time not asking you technical questions, but asking you some personal questions, and it's much comfortable. Interview becomes personal, and they like you right away. So even if you make mistakes later, answering some questions, they still hire you. So being nice, empathetic during the interview is much, much more important than just answering questions correctly. That's how it works. Of course, that's entire science, and that's why it takes a couple months for me to train people. And I always tell them, so that's one way. You just understand what I explain to you, and you try to behave like that. Never expect job offer from the interview, because people are afraid of what? Not getting the job offer, coming to the interview and failing, right? Be prepared for fail. Expect that your first resumes will be failure, because not resumes, interviews will be failure. So you will have to go to them, talk to people, and get used to that. And it may be failure because you still will be maybe a little bit nervous. You have to get used to the process. So it will be failure. But if you don't expect, you are way more relaxed, and it gives you more advantage. So you come relaxed, you say, okay, nothing happens, I will just have another great conversation with great people. If they don't want to hire me, that's okay. Let them not hire me, right? That's okay. But I will just spend maybe 1 hour of my time, maybe 30 minutes, just for talking with people, and I will be trying to be nice in myself, right? And if they like you, they hire you. So actually, basically, not expecting the offer gives you more chances to get the offer than expecting the offer. And if you understand that, and you go to the interview relaxed, you get the offer. Or you can still, be nervous, blah blah blah, and that way you will just have to go to many interviews, so you get used to them. So you go to the next interview, and you just say, okay, I failed so many times, so nothing changes. To the next interview, doesn't change anything. And you just go there relaxed, not because you understood that right away, but because you just, get used to the interview process. You failed so many times, you had so many interviews, so you just get used to it. And now you just go to the next interview like, relaxed. You don't expect anything, because you know that probably you will fail again. And what happens? You get the job offer from that interview. So two ways to understand that nothing bad happens, and don't expect the job offer. Just go and talk to people. If you try to understand that and you do that, you get the job offer. Or just go to many interviews, fail, and just get used to the job interview process, and then come relaxed, because you already get used to it, and then get the job offer. Of course, the first path is shorter, right? But
Yeah.
you understand that. Yes, Maria, go ahead. You have a question.
Yes, question regarding language, meaning that JavaScript. Why JavaScript? Why we're not gonna learn any other languages? Python.
We have it
Oh,
decided.
it's true.
Yeah, we have decided to take JavaScript because
Yeah.
it's like it gives us flexibility. First of all, probably the most popular. It depends on what people want to learn, right? So with Python, the most popular use for Python right now is automation, and AI development. For example, if you're interested in artificial intelligence, neural networks, something like that, then yes, you probably better to go with Python. But that's it. If you, let's say, if you tell me if there is a cool backend framework on Python, there is none. Mobile development framework on Python, none. Maybe front-end development, maybe there are some, probably there are some, but I mean like not the popular ones, right? Okay, then you take Java. Okay, what you can do in Java? Automation, good. Is there a front end? No. Backend? Yes, there are some backend services. Java is good for backend. So yes, Java for backend. Mobile? Maybe yes, some mobile frameworks are in Java, but front end? No. No. Okay, good. Then you take other languages. So you take JavaScript. Automation, the most popular framework, Cypress, the most popular in the market. Just to give an example. Cypress. And that's what, if you took the automation lesson, so you probably learned Cypress with Sergey. Weekly downloads, weekly, guys, not monthly, weekly downloads, 3,400,000 weekly downloads. That's how Cypress popular are. And that's why. That's why Cypress, because it's super popular, right? Right now, it's very simple and it's very easy to use. For example, in Java, in order to click, people say, okay, I want somebody to do Java plus Selenium, right? So in order to click the element, people know Selenium, they actually wrap them into custom method click, and then they have it. In Cypress, there is already method click. You don't have to do that, right? So I don't know why people actually come up with Java if there is a Cypress, for example. If you need to do automation and you have web application, you go with Cypress. Always. You don't have to do anything else. Even if you don't know JavaScript, you still go with Cypress. Because if you know Python, JavaScript is nothing for you. If you know Java, JavaScript is nothing for you. If you know JavaScript, Python is nothing to you. But maybe Java is more complex, C++ is more complex, and etc. Right? So JavaScript is very simple, like Python. So basically, I would choose only Python and JavaScript if I were to choose. But why JavaScript? Automation? Yes. Cypress. Front-end development. The most popular framework in the world, like among all the languages, not only one language, among all the languages. React and JavaScript. Okay, let's look for React. I don't even know how much that guy has, React. 13.5 million. That's basically it by JavaScript. And then basically React Native for mobile development. It was not there. It's a new framework. React Native. No, everybody's using this right now as well. This is for mobile development. 1 million downloads per week. Why is that? React Native is JavaScript framework as well, but for mobile development. It's like React for web, the most popular for web, but React Native was created based on React for web development, but for mobile applications. And as you can see, you reuse code across Android, iOS, and other platforms. But this is the base, probably the biggest advantage, because the existing approaches is when you take something like Objective-C language, and you need to know it, and then you develop iOS application. And that's it. You don't have Android application. In order to also build Android application, you have to hire another team that will do maybe on Java, right? Build you Android application. But you have two teams. In React Native, basically you may have one team. And that's in my company. We have one team for both web, mobile, and both iOS and Android, because it's all React, it's all JavaScript. So people don't even have web separately and mobile separately, because it's all the same thing. And that's basically it. If you learn JavaScript, you can learn automation today. Tomorrow you will become React developer. Day after tomorrow you will become React Native developer and will be building mobile applications. After that, you will learn something on the back end, like Express.js, and will be full stack development, doing backend development as well. So you can do everything. With JavaScript, you're like, with other languages, you basically limited. There is no popular web development framework in Java, right? You're just limited to automation and backend, maybe Android development. But again, with popularity of React Native, you don't have to know Java and do only Android separately. If you can do one code that will generate iOS and Android automatically for you, why do you need to have two teams when you need one team doing React Native and iOS and Android created automatically? Why? That's why. That's why JavaScript. We selected JavaScript because based on our experience, this is the language that gives you way more abilities to grow in any direction. And that's basically what happens. So the easiest way probably that many our students take is automation, then web development. So you basically learn Cypress or WebDriver IO, work in automation for 8 months, a year, and then switch to React development and become a web developer. That's the easiest way. And then React Native is very similar to React. The only difference is in React for web development, you declare HTML tags. In React Native, everything is the same, but when you create an element, you just put view, for example, not body, but view, some specific elements for mobile, and that's it. Everything else, the structure of the code, how you store data, and etc., same, like React for web development. So if you learn the React for web development, React Native is like this for you. That's basically it. And you can do mobile applications. Then you learn backend, you are full stack. And you can make like couple hundreds, thousands a year. Why not? That's exactly why we picked JavaScript, because you can do everything you want. And we basically built the courses around JavaScript. So if you can see the path, oh, here it is. This is only with JavaScript. This is possible only with JavaScript. For example, you want to learn automation, you learn manual QA and coding basics for 3 months. And then you go and take automation course. You have two prerequisites for automation. You need to be the tester, to know testing practices, and know the coding basics to learn test automation. Because on test automation, you don't actually learn coding. You learn the existing tool, like Cypress, and work on the project, like cover the application by tests and etc. So basically, you don't learn coding here. You have to learn it here, like basics, how to use code, variables, functions, arrays, and etc. And then you learn test automation. But let's say you want to be front-end developer. You already have the coding basics. You just need to learn React and work on the project. But this is not the easiest way. Easiest way is just to learn automation. It's easier than work for a year and then learn front-end development for 3 months. That's it. And then maybe you have decided after that, learn mobile development, learn React Native, 3 more months, or full stack development, 3 more months, and that's it. So you actually can do everything that you can imagine. You want to build mobile applications, games, copy of the Instagram, your own, I don't know, maybe your own startup, take this, take JavaScript. That's why. That's exactly why. Everybody knows JavaScript. You can even Google the most popular coding language 222. So there will be some, see, Python on the first place here. So let's open one. Oh, it's advertisement. I won't be opening this. This is advertisement. I will open Raya. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5. Okay, 6, 7. 7. Lucky number. The most popular languages: Python, Java, JavaScript. Right? And this. Okay, this is Piple, something with Python. Yes, take it. Oh, my phone? Yeah, take it. Okay. This is JavaScript, TypeScript, right? In this. So 1 Python, 1 JavaScript. Let's open JavaScript. So JavaScript 2, Python 1. Okay. Python 2, JavaScript. Okay. 2, 2. Okay. 3, 2. Okay. 3, 2. Okay, wait a second. Okay, 3-3. Oh man, why is that? 3-3. Okay, 4-3 Python 1. Okay, it was JavaScript in the second place here. Yeah, so Python is very popular, and that's what I told you. I would take only Python and JavaScript, but with Python you're limited. If you do test automation, you do test automation, good. Then you can switch to probably something related to data analysis, data analyst, or AI development, something like that. I have no idea what that is and how it's done, but you can switch to that. That's what Python popular with. It's popular among scientists, so scientists use it. That's why Python is popular. But if you want to be, like, for example, you go to Apple. What Apple uses for website development, for mobile application development? React Native. I worked there, and the framework was React, right? In Apple. What the framework was in my next company after I actually changed the job. I went to another company here in Sacramento. What the front-end framework was, what the application was built on, React. And I was not a React developer, so it's not something I look for. I look for automation, right? But the application that I was testing was React again. I switched another company, React again. I work for this company right now, React Web, React Native, mobile. So React is everywhere. If you want to be there on the top of the web development and easily, and why? Because it's very popular. Everybody uses React. So there's a lot of jobs on React, and you want to be in that demanding industry, right? So you want to know React. But if you know Python, you have to learn JavaScript from the beginning and then React and etc. If you know JavaScript and you are automating in JavaScript, you don't have to do that. You just learn the React as a tool, and that's it. Then what happens if you want to develop your own mobile application or actually find a job in mobile development? React Native. In Python? No. Then you want to become full stack developer, know backend and front end together, and build the complex solutions, not only be part of the front end part. Front end means what you see in the browser, and the backend server side, somewhere remotely, that server application that spins on the server, somewhere in Google Data Center, for example, right? What if you want to be backend developer? Again, JavaScript. And you can know JavaScript and know everything. You can develop mobile application. That's basically why we went with JavaScript, because it's very demanding. It's a lot of jobs on the market, and that's why. And that's why you start with automation, for example, and you start with coding basics, and then you open the entire world of software development, and you can take any path with other languages. Unfortunately, I would love to, so they have more, but unfortunately, you're limited. You learn test automation, and then you're just limited to go in this direction. In JavaScript, you can choose the direction that you want to go to. And many of our students, as I said, they don't stop. They learn test automation, so they actually take 6 months course. They actually learn this 3 months, and then right away take test automation. They find test automation job, which is easier than manual. The complex part to learn it, the easier part is to find a job, because less people take test automation course. More people just stay here, and there is way more people on the market who know manual testers. So you have more competition on the market with manual people. There's more people looking for manual jobs than in automation. Automation requires additional knowledge. And another reason why, because we give people coding basics in parallel. Other courses, they just teach people manual QA. If you take manual QA course, you learn manual QA. You don't learn any coding, no languages, nothing. You just learn manual QA. That's why there are a lot of schools offering just manual QA. A lot of people learn manual QA and look for manual QA jobs. That's why you have a lot of people on the market, and there is a competition on the market with manual people. And if you, for example, took our course, learn manual QA and coding basics, you are better than those people, but you still compete with them. But you are, because you're looking for manual QA jobs. That's why people take automation, less competition, but you have to actually learn automation, right? Work on the project. And the interview is more complex because you need to solve coding tasks. And basically, you learn this over here. already. So during the coding basics, you will be completing them. But I mean, like, if you just compare, it's more complex because you have to answer more questions and solve some coding problems and etc. And talk about more test automation framework structure, how you structurize your folders there, right, and stuff like that. Than just answering just regular questions here. Oh, tell me what you do on the project or something like that, right? That's basically the difference. More competition, easier questions, easier interview. Um, Less competition, but more difficult interview here. But this is still better. This is better because though you know those answers for those questions after the course, right? So if you just take a regular person, automation will be more complex for them. But for you who graduated from the course, it's not difficult because you know the answers for the questions. And yeah, this is how it works. And this is why JavaScript, because people take automation, work there for 8 months, 10 months, and then after that, they actually learn front-end development and they switch to front-end develop because that's how they actually imagine their future work. Some people, they come to actually learn web development, but then they realize that automation is easier, so they like a kind of start with automation. That's just a start for them, and then they end up with front-end development, and then it's up to them. They want to learn mobile, there is a course. They want to learn full stack, there is a course, right? So it's up to them. But the easiest path to end up here in development world, this is the development world, is to take test automation course. If you just want to be QA, it's better to learn test automation. It's high demand. And we, for example, right now in my team, we have more automation engineers than manual. We still do manual job. So even automation engineers still do manual job, still testing manually, because there are some bug reports to test, some new requirements to cover by test cases, etc. We still do manual job, but I mean, like, we were hired and we are paid as automation engineers. So that's why being automation is better, because you can still do the same job, easy job, but being paid way more, right? And we have less manual people who are just purely manual and doing only manual job, not doing automation at all. We have less of them than automation, because automation, you can do automation and you can do manual as well. So basically, companies are trying to hire more automation right now, and that's basically, you will notice that once you start looking for the job, manual job, you will notice that. You will say, okay, that company requires automation, that company requires automation. You will see that. Okay, and the last thing I want to show you, I go to LinkedIn, and I go to jobs, right? So this is where I usually look for the new jobs. There are other, like Indeed, like monster.com and etc., Dice, but LinkedIn is a professional network, right? So that's why many companies, they have profiles here and they just post jobs here. They just add that they have a job description, and it's more than enough. So QA tester, I will look for QA tester, right? Just see how in United States, automatically United States, and see 32,000 results. And that's just crazy, because when we had the last free course in the summer, not last, before that, it was like maybe 15,000. Last free course, it was 20,000. This free course, it's 32,000. So it's just growing. And even if you see that there are some news that some big companies, tech giants like Amazon, Facebook, they laid off and fired some people. As you can see, 32 open positions on the market. But we will do something like what I usually do. They posted past week, just to see how many jobs posted in a week. 11,000 jobs posted in 1 week. Those are the companies actively looking for people. So they just, week ago, during the last week, they posted that they have QA testing job. So, and now think just about one simple fact, because I'm impressed as well. Like, numbers are just growing. So, This number, even for me, is just like something crazy, because it just, like maybe 6 months ago, it was maybe like, I don't know, 3,000 jobs in 1 week. Right now, the companies posted 11,000 jobs in 1 week. And since most of them are remote, see, some of them are on site, and you just skip them. But most of them are remote, and you just apply for those jobs and look from your home. They will ship you the laptop. For example, I got my big, the newest Apple MacBook Pro laptop. I I have the keyboard. They send me keyboard. They send me the headphones, mouse, everything. They send me everything. I just connect it. You want more monitors? You buy you a monitor, and you have like, your desk with your many monitors. You just put different windows on the monitors, and you work remotely from your house. 11,000 results. And think about one single thing. What if you just apply for 1,000 of them? 1,000. You just need one of them to work for you, and that's it. Just to get one job offer. We have problems when people get couple job offers, because usually they are afraid of leaving the job. So two students, like 2 days ago, two students reached out to me, and they have a similar situation. They're actually interviewing actively, and the problem is they got an offer from one company, but there is another company where the interview went super well, and they expect the job offer from them maybe in a week, but they have to decide something with this company. So I always tell them, okay, just take this offer, start working. If they send you the offer in 1 month, just leave this job. They say, okay, I'm sorry, guys, there is another offer I was waiting for, and they just send it to me. This is something I was looking for many years, and I want to go with them. I'm sorry that I actually wasted your time, but I have to leave. And you just leave in 1 month. Yeah, so you just work for the company for 1 month, and you just leave. There are cases when people leave in 1 week. So, and this is basically what happens often. People take the offer, but somebody else sent them the offer right away with better salary, with better, I don't know, things that they want to learn or something like that, and they just accept that one. So sometimes they don't even come and start work. Sometimes they start work and just leave in a week. So that happens. That's a life. Nobody will tell you anything. They understand, and if they really want to keep you, it was not enough time for them to learn you. If they had enough time to learn you, they then will try to match your salary, so you stay, right? If they want to keep you. But if they don't match your salary in that offer, you just leave and you don't think about that. So that's the problem. People get several offers and actually are afraid of like losing leaving the job that they already got to take another opportunity. That's the problem. But getting one offer out of 11,000, you won't be able to apply to all of them. That's basically what I can tell you. Imagine 11,000 jobs, 7 days. It's more than 1,000 application a day. It's unreal. You won't be able to apply for as many jobs. So your goal is just to apply to as many jobs as possible during the week. Next week, you will see new jobs, right? So it will be updated every single day. Every single day, companies will post more and more jobs. And you just keep applying, keep applying, keep applying, keep applying. You need one of them, and that's it. And the more jobs you apply to, higher chances for you to get a job. That's basically it. That's basically how it works. And that's it. Remember, there are specific rules. Resume, then you go to the interview. For the interview, yes, you need some experience. Not experience, but at least being able to answer questions, right? Then you prove that you can do the job. If you have experience, if you worked on some project, got some internship, that's great, because you know what to answer about. Then you go to the interview, prove it. They give you the job offer. You sign it. You complete background check. Then you put the truth about yourself, not the resume information, the truth. They check it. They said, good. We were able to actually check it. It works. No criminal records, nothing. You move to the next level, which is coming to the office and start working, or remotely, right? You work remotely. That's basically how it works. You just need to follow those simple rules. Of course, if you're not able to learn something just from the video, you have to take the courses, right? You have to take the courses if you need mentor, if you need somebody to answer your questions, because there are different courses, and all them all them are good. Not all them, but let's say I'm a nice person, so all them are good. There are free courses, so easily there are some people teaching people for free. Yes, but there is a disadvantage. You cannot teach people using real tools, because you have to pay a lot of money for them, right? So companies pay a lot of money for different licenses for the systems they are using. If you don't pay that, you cannot teach people how the company works, right? You have to use Google Docs, like we use in our free course. We use Google Docs, whatever we can use for bug reporting, Google Forms, whatever. If you want to teach people how the real project works, right? That's what we do. We have Azure DevOps, Azure DevOps. That's where we have the project, right? We have the projects here. We have couple organizations right here. We have couple projects in an organization, right? So for example, and we pay for the license. In order to add people here, we add people, our bill increases. We remove people after the course, our bill decreases, right? But we have to do this in order to be as a real company, to give people real experience. So we have different environments like in real company, right? Because this is the real project. This is the existing product that we actually have developed. We have the requirements here that are described, right? How everything works. We have some credentials, everything here, right? We have different environments. We have the environment for developers. They work and test what they do. We have the environment for QA team, and we have productions where the users go. We have backend servers. Everything costs money, right? And in order to add people here and being able to organize work, sprints for them, right? So this is the software that is used for the companies, Azure DevOps. This is Microsoft product. In order to actually add people here and actually being able to actually create sprints for them so they can work on the tasks and actually complete them and work as on a real project, so we add them. This is cost money. So this is basically why if you have a free course, you cannot give people this, because this is expensive. And in order to be like a real company, you have to buy licenses and teach people on the real products that our companies are using, because companies are using different products for design, for designers, how designers create those design mockups, for business analysts, where to store documentation, right? For software development team in general, including QAs and developers, where you can actually bug tracking systems and etc. Code management systems, right? We have code management system here where we store code, different repos, front end, back end, automations, and etc. The continuous integration pipelines, automated processes, deployments, and everything else, pipelines. You should have all of that for your company to actually develop some products, right? You're not able to do that without that. Servers, right? Virtual machines, automation, all of that. So you have to have that to actually build your product, and you have to pay money for that. If you buy Jira, if you buy GitHub account or something like that, so you have to pay money for that. And as a company, you pay for money for the product, you pay for the license for your employees, right? That's why when you add more people, the bill increases, and you cannot do that with the free courses. Yeah, so that's basically how it works. So our approach is very simple. We just add people to the project so they can actually learn not just by theory, but actually work on the project. So we add them, we launch the sprint, we add the requirements, they work on them, they create bug reports. Actually, same. Developers fix them, return back to them, everything like on the project, right? And that's how it works. Yep. What else? What else I wanted to tell you? Yeah, So basically, again, remember, the ultimate goal is to get the job. It's not about education. It's not about learning something cool that probably would be nice to play with. No, it's all about getting the job. So the courses are aimed on getting the job. We are not educating people the technologies. No, it's all about learn whatever you want and need to get the job. So you can do your job, you can work for the company, learn even something new there, and maybe find another job. Maybe then learn something more advanced like web development, and then get a job again in web development and develop yourself as a web developer, and then maybe learn something else. So all the courses that we have are aimed at getting the job, not just learning something. So that's basically, they are um, more like project oriented, not like theory oriented, but project oriented. So that's how it works, and that's what you should be looking for. I think personally that if you're looking for something like the courses like us, you need to take couple free courses and try the approach, try teachers, ask them different stupid questions and see how they answer them. See if you like the teachers, the approach, the other students, and what they offer you actually, and how they see your goal from here till you're getting the job, right? How your path looks like. In if they offer you, for example, only QA manual, right? And you just learn QA, and then if you, for example, want to switch to automation in a year after that, you have to learn coding basics from scratch and then test automation, and it will take you a couple months, 6 months, like say, after 1 year, or they give you coding basics right away. Oh, my kid is crying. Maybe she will be able to join us and you will see her. You want to say hello? Come here. No, she doesn't want to. She's shy. Yeah, if you actually if you join course, you will see her a lot. Sometimes she joins me, she sits next to me just here and just tapping on the keyboard. I usually turn that off, put her on my knees, and she's just sitting here. I conduct the lesson and she's like just pressing the buttons. She likes to say hello and wave to people. Sophia took it. Okay, good. Any questions?
You one mentioned once mentioned that you have students who take up multiple QA jobs, and it's interesting how that happens, that they can have like multiple full-time jobs. If you can talk about that.
Yeah, so basically it's you don't take it right away. Usually how that happens, you actually work for the company. At some point, if you see that you're able to do your job in 4 hours, because let's say, for example, my day-to-day, it's very slow right now. So a lot of people are on vacations. Other people that even working, like there's a feeling that nobody's in the chat. Like you post the question and it takes hours for people to answer. In IT, in general, it's very relaxed way of work. So basically, let's say you have an appointment in the morning. You actually just tell people, hey guys, I'm not able to join the stand-up meeting today because I have an appointment. And you just go to appointment, you be there for 2 hours. And even if you lie, you don't have an appointment, you just want to sleep. Nobody checks that, right? People trust you because you just need to do your job. If you have some tasks to do, you have to complete them. And that's basically it. Nobody cares if you went to the doctor's office, if you went to DMV, to the post office, to the, I don't know, picked up your daughter from school. Nobody cares, right? So you just tell people, hey, I'm sorry, I'm not available in the next hour because I have handyman came to fix some problem with the, I don't know, with the dishwasher or something like that. And people say, okay, yeah, talk to you later. And that's pretty much it. So if you find yourself in the position when you are able to finish your job in 4 hours, right? Because sometimes you work less than 4 hours. You went to the doctor's appointment, then you had a lunch for 1 hour, then you picked up your daughter, and you just count, and like today you worked for 4 hours. And if you see that you're actually able to do your job, actively working for hours, you just think, okay, maybe I need to find another job and work on two jobs in parallel. It's not easy. Like, people have to handle not to have meetings at the same time, right? And sometimes they have to say, say something, I'm not feeling well, I'm not able to join this meeting, maybe we can move it, or I have something else during this time, can we move it, or something like that. So people somehow have to handle this situation when they have meetings. It's not possible, for example, for leadership positions, for management positions, because you have a lot of meetings that you have to attend, and that's basically the thing that blocks you. But if you're a regular engineer, like a tester, or you are web developer, automation engineer, you have not too many meetings. You have maybe one stand-up meeting in the morning, maybe you have one more meeting like in the midday, some random meetings. And if you're able to like schedule meetings on different times, that's basically it. You work there for 4 hours, you work there for 4 hours, but actively in 8 hours you can do two jobs. I know people that work on three jobs, and that's very easy. You work for one company, you find other job, they give you an offer, you put one laptop over here with the monitor above, one laptop over here with the monitor above, and that's it. You turn, work on this job, turn, run the test automation, it's running, you turn and do something here for 5 minutes. Okay, automation failed. You figure out what failed, you fix the problem, run it again and see if it fails again, work here, like, I don't know, tested something here, then turn around, test something here. So like, this is how people work. If you don't work in the office, remotely, you can easily handle two jobs. But again, that this happens if you find yourself that you're able to do the job in a couple hours. It really based on the company. Some companies have lower pace, some companies have higher pace. So it really depends. But it's possible, because I personally know people that work minimum on two jobs. And sometimes people work on three jobs. And I even I don't remember if I mentioned this on this lesson on the free course. I read the article on Reddit. The person actually told his story that he's working actually on 5 jobs in parallel, and if he will able to do it in for the entire year, his salary will be combined 1,000,000 to $200,000, like millionaire in just 1 year working on 5 jobs. And he's still playing a lot of video games, not even working for 8 hours. So it depends. Sometimes you look for automation jobs. During the interview, people will tell you, we are chilling here, we are not the company that will throw you and actually have you working a lot of hours and working hard. Here we have a relaxed atmosphere, everybody's working and love their job, and slow pace. So people sometimes even tell you that, so they have a slow pace. So that's basically how people are able to do 2 jobs. Yeah, and you basically get 2 salaries. Yeah, that's how. Of course, in most of the job, not just offers, in offers probably, yeah, they mentioned that you cannot work for somebody else, but you can take another contract job. So first of all, sometimes people take 2 full-time jobs. First of all, nobody checks, nobody will disallow you. I mean, like, if nobody knows, the government is not limiting you, so you can have 2 jobs, you can have 3 jobs. So the government doesn't care about your employers. But theoretically, if they know that you have a second full-time job, somehow they know, then probably there can be some problems. But I don't have any. So for example, that's very hard to actually know, for example, because if you feel that it's very hard for you, you can always leave one job if you want. First thing. And the second thing, nobody wants to sue you and go and actually have some problems with you, argue with you about the second job and do something. Nobody wants. They just will fire you, and that's it. Nobody will sue you and actually do something bad to you, even if they know that you have a second job, because it's not worth it. And that will happen only in case if your performance actually is very bad. is actually if you're not able to handle your job and you have problems with your manager that says that you're not able to do your job. So then it's not happening right away, right? So they still give you a chance, like improvement plan for 3 months. And then you just, if you feel that it's very hard for you, you leave one job and work on that one and improve your performance, and that's it. You still work on it. Nobody will fire you. Or you have decided that the other job is better for you, so you spend more time there, and your performance is low here. You still will work there for 3 more months, and they will let you go, saying that I'm sorry, but your performance is not good, and they will fire you, right? That's the worst thing that can happen. But usually nothing happens, because if you feel that you need to do something more, you have some extra work to do on one job. Today you will spend 1 additional hour. Let's say not 8 hours working, but 9, right? Today. Tomorrow, nothing to do there, and you will do more here, right? Like, so you control your workload as you want. Maybe sometimes working more hours, right? But it's easy to handle 2 jobs, because what you will see just when you get a job, just count how many hours you work just actively, not going to the kitchen, making tea or coffee, not talking to somebody over the phone, not watching YouTube videos, right, on the second screen or something like that. Just measure that. Measure how much time you spend, and you will see that you don't spend more than 4 or 5 hours actively working. So if you really wake up, actively sit and work 4 hours, you are able to do a lot of work. And so you can easily handle the second job. But a lot of people in IT they have one job and they just chill. They are able to do a lot of other stuff. Go somewhere in the morning, watch YouTube, watch some movies, work a little bit, then go and have a lunch, then go somewhere, maybe to the grocery store, buy something, come back, then again work for a little bit. So maybe you work for 4 or 5 hours a day actively. That's how it works. And sometimes we even know that people probably, we don't know for sure, but sometimes you feel when seems like somebody has another job, because if you see that person declines some meetings, tries to reschedule them sometimes, right? And so you're guessing that probably person has another job, but that person is able to do the job. You assign tasks to the person, that person is able to complete everything in time. Maybe it takes some more time in the evening to complete something sometimes if there is an extra job, but you don't care about that. So nobody will care. People just thinking, oh, I think that person has another job, but it's okay if he's able to handle the job. So even the companies, they are not interested in blaming you or doing something to you. So there is no limit. So if you're asking how they're able to do that, easily. You just go to the market, find the job, but without leaving the current one. Because usually you go to the market, get another offer, tell your management that you're leaving, and then take that position, right? But in this case, you just don't leave your job and work there. And actually, I was working for one startup, and I actually wanted to actually try, because I was working as a regular engineer, like automation engineer. And I was actually able to do my job in 3 hours sometimes. Sometimes I was like in the situation when I just realized at the end of the day, I did nothing for the day. I just, was spending time for sleeping more. Then I felt bad, took a nap. Then I actually had lunch. Then I actually had something to do. Went to the appointment. Then I had to pick up my daughter from school. Then I came and I see that it's 5:00 p.m. and I did nothing for today. And nobody cares, right? Because if you, at the end of the sprint, you're able to complete all your tasks, that's it. So I will have to probably work more tomorrow if I didn't do anything today. But I mean, like, basically, there can be days when you do nothing or you work for 2 hours. But probably like median time is like 5 hours, probably, I would say. Yeah, so that's why people want to IT. Because you can work from home, not too easy job to do, just sitting in front of the computer, just clicking buttons, typing, asking questions, sending messages, in participating meetings. getting high salary, and basically not be worrying about anything else. And that's why, I'm happy to see like people, find jobs, get high salaries, then buy houses, buy Teslas, and enjoy their life, how their life improve. I remember them coming, having that old car that they had, and now they drive Tesla, they post nice pictures to Instagram, they are traveling a lot. It's nice. It's nice. Life changes. It's not the limit, right? You can still go to the development. You can grow as a leader. Maybe you're not interested in engineering development, but maybe you want to grow as a leader, as a manager, become a manager, and like this. So it's basically why people go to IT. Okay, 9 p.m. Any questions, guys? The only thing I want to show you is what I have today for the homeworks. So these are the people who completed the 4 homeworks from previous lessons. So I will be sending you a special discount link for the first month. If you would like to take the course, you can use that link because it's not the full price. It's a special discount, a 50% discount. So if, for example, if anybody wants to join our course, they usually go to courses or pricing and subscribe. So we have the standard and we have platinum. Platinum is actually when people want to spend extra time with and have individual lessons with the teacher. So then they select platinum, and then there is a specific time they have with a teacher every week that they spend with a teacher and ask any questions, like have specific lessons, special lessons. They can spend it in one day and spread it out across the week, or standard. This is what most people will go with. So the first month will be 50% off. It will be $299, not $599 and $299. And this is usually, we have specific plans for our former students. For example, there is a student in the group, in the current group. She was not able to take the 3rd month because she had some family situation. So she left the 3rd month, but she did it good. So we didn't tell her to go. Like she actually had to leave the course for the 3rd month. So, but she's going to join the next course. So the first 2 months for her, if she wants to take them, will be $199, and the 3rd one that she didn't pay for will be full price. So for students who wants to take the course again, it will be special price. And also, if there are people with disabilities, the education for them for free. So they just have to register, send the evidence of disability. So they have disability, officially the government issued document with disability. Then we actually educate them for free. And we have actually, these guys are super motivated usually, because I was expecting that people who actually take course for free, because we pay for them, basically we pay for all the accesses, everything for them. And I was expecting that people who actually come and do something for free, they don't lose anything. Because if you lose money, you pay for something, you are more motivated to actually learn stuff and come to lesson and learn something. Because you lose something, you lose money. These people don't lose anything, but they are super motivated. And these people usually find jobs, the first ones. So actually it's crazy, but yeah, people come to us, we educate them for free, and they still successful. There are, again, exclusions when some people are not motivated, and we just let them go if they miss lessons and don't complete assignments. But as you can see, yeah, that's what we have. So so I wanted to say that this will be 50% off for the first month if you want to join. If you watch the recording right now, so for everybody else, basically you just need to complete all the homeworks that are remaining by January 15, let's say January 15. And if you complete these homeworks, you send them to me. You need to send test cases to me. Then you need to send JavaScript to Stan. This I will get automatically, because this is the bug reports, and I get them automatically. I will just check that they're your bug reports, and I will mark this as completed, and then that's it. I see, Leandra, you actually participated in JavaScript. But if you want to get a discount, you complete those QAs. You can watch the recordings. and watch the kids. Oh, let me bring my daughter. We'll see. Come here. You will see my beauty. Yeah, no, no. Okay. Say hello. Her name is Mia.
Mama.
Mama.
Hi, Mia.
Hey. Hello. What? You want to go to Mama? Yeah. So I will, guys. I will be just checking your homeworks. I'm sorry. I will have to go then. I will. I'm finishing. I'm finishing. Let's go. Go and play with Sophia. Oh, Sophia, can you take her? Sophia. Okay, I'm sorry for that, guys, but this is how we work remotely. Like, you couldn't imagine this before COVID. I remember we were working from the office. In rare cases, we were coming, we were working from home, but everybody tried to, keep everybody close. Nobody's talking. And right now, kids are crying there. Dogs are are running there. Cats are walking on the desks. Like, it's so like relaxed right now. Nobody cares about their kids, cats, dogs, whatever is happening. Everybody's there. People just try to mute themselves, right? So if we are on the meeting, like with us, right, people just try to mute. I just muted myself, right? So if something happening, people just mute yourself. Something, one person is talking, but again, nobody cares about what's happening. So again, this is how IT looks like, right? People are so relaxed. They bring their kids to say hello. Their cats say, "Oh, this is my cat. This is my another cat. This is like 5 years old." They tell some stories. Yeah. So even if you work with people remotely, you still feel like you're friends with them because there's so much personal stuff going on the background. Okay. So that's it for today. It was
So
a
we
long
can still
lesson.
send over the homeworks, right? If we haven't done it until January 23rd.
No, January 15th.
Oh, January
It-
15th.
I
Okay.
will actually send everything to the chat, the information that you need. Also, if some of you are not registered on the platform, don't forget to register on the platform. So that's where you have. Oh man, why? I turned the keyboard off. Platform techstart.dev. You create the account here, and you automatically. This is my test user. Automatically will get to this page. In courses, you will see the free course where you will have all the recordings and all lessons and all the materials that you need, right? And Slack. Slack is our main messenger. So here's the Slack, my messenger. This messenger is used by the company. So for example, I can go and see my company's Slack here as well. So the companies, IT companies, like 99% of the companies in IT use Slack. So this is another thing, another skill that you have to develop. How to use Slack. So join Slack, and here is our main place for communications, for chatting, and etc. Asking questions, because even if we have groups that graduated, those chats remain there. So those people sit there, they ask questions, they go to interviews, they come to other courses, they ask questions, so they communicate with each other. Sometimes they gather in some place, go together sometimes, so they remain friends in the real life, and so we keep those chats. People remain there. That's basically, here is our community in the Slack. Yeah, so I will put the information here. Don't forget to use Slack as well, because some people come to these courses from Meetup, from other places. They go directly to the video, and they don't register on the platform. They don't know how to get to the homeworks. So everything on the platform and in Slack. And this is just linked to the video lesson, but it's the last one today. Okay, guys. Last chance to ask any question.
Arthur, remind please when we'll start the main course.
January 23rd, I believe. All courses, January 23rd. Yeah.
Okay. Thank
This
you.
is this is when the next course starts. Okay. Anything else, guys? Okay, so then
See you on January 23rd.
okay, I hope so. I hope so. It was nice working with you guys. Not everybody joined today lesson. I know that some of you will be watching in the recording, but it was nice to work with all of you, even if you're not joining any courses, and I won't see you in the future. But it was nice talking to you, working with you, because we had some communications, and now you will remember me, I will remember you, and you became part of, like, small part of my life. So it was nice working with you. I hope that everything was beneficial for you. You learned something new, and you enjoyed this free course, and I hope to maybe teach you in the future, or even work with you in the future. Yeah, and wish you good luck. Bye bye, guys.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye.
Bye bye.